This artist right here, Ada Graves, did not exist last night. You see, artists used to need a giant team, $1 million budgets, studios, recordings, all this stuff, and you could still go down that route. There's nothing wrong with it, and I have multiple music projects to do various things. So I wanted to document this process as well as I'm working on my other projects, teach you what goes into today's artists and music projects where you're not so much the front stage, the person on the stage singing. You are more of the creative director building these worlds, these digital worlds, these fantasy worlds where it has music, lyrics, story, visuals, animations, and you are the creative director behind it all. And your team is you and tools. And that is what makes it so fun because there's so much word about AI, slop, this, that. When you think of it this way, you are the creative director. You're not taking away from the fact that it is AI or you're using AI. You're saying, this is what's in my head. I could finally get it all out, all aspects of it. I could be the final person that creates the idea, but also signs off on the idea. So you are now the creative director. So before we even get into the music, there's so much you got to do before, and it starts with what? I went on Gemini, and you could see I started very basic because I wanted something different than what I was already doing. So I was just chatting back and forth. It's giving me ideas, what's popular, what can you build around, what's good for AI that is easy to direct. And I started narrowing down Gemini to specific genres, and we got it down to these two, and I ended up going with this style over this because this is kind of really popular right now, and a lot of people are focused on this. So I wanted to do something different that still kind of fits in that storytelling, vintage type thing. So kind of got that initial idea, and I'm going to keep going back and forth and start to plan, okay, how would I do this sounds that go with it. I start to just pile them all together until I get a direction I want to go with this project. Once I get that, I have the name already and the style I want to go for. We need to build a character for this music project we're building. And we need to put a face character to Ada Graves. And they came up with this one, and I honestly, like, with the in my head, the type of music I was picturing, I do like this. But a very old, as you can see, 1890s, trying to give it that vintage feel where a lot of haunted type storylines and movies and stuff kind of go around those, older creepy houses and decorations and stuff. So I wanted to go around that route. And then I kept regenerating it, trying to see if it would fix some things. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. I'll download it, but I'm not sold on it. Started to get some album covers for the first one, song titles, getting Suno prompt themes for each song. So really, I'm doing everything possible first before I even get into making an actual song. And then I start to talk with it like, okay, how should I go about this? Lyrics, this and that. Then it starts to order the songs, all that stuff. And then you need a voice identity. So for me, I wanted Suno to not just generate random cool songs. I wanted them to build a profile and a theme for this project. I wanted it to sound cohesive and have that voice as close as possible. So I started getting voice profiles for Suno and trying to get it to be consistent. And then I was going back and forth saying, like, I really need this to sound cohesive. What do I got to do? Talked about the settings and everything. And after our whole conversation, I said, okay, we need to pull in everything we just talked about and build me an artist Bible. So it's going to pull in the name, the visuals, the feel, the architect type, visual identities, language, the house, the locations, everything, the identity of the voice, Suno type prompts, and general settings that I move the sliders to get something sounding good, what to exclude. Basically, this whole file we're going to feed into AI when we're asking for lyrics, when we're asking for images, when we're asking for advice, direction, anything around this project. We have this master file. We're going to copy this text, save it somewhere, and we're going to reference this to make sure that AI is always focused on what this project is about. This is the key thing right here, from getting just slop of random AI stuff and it drifting to, okay, these are the guidelines. This is what we're working on. We need to build off of all these instructions. So once I have this down, that's when I created a new chat, and this chat is my custom GPT. Now, I'm going to link down below to a free one you could use that I built, and this is going to help you with the brainstorming step to make sure you hit all your things. Completely free, down below, as well as a little guide to help you kind of, give you order of what I'm talking about in this video. So I built my custom one, and this one is Ada Graves Management, is just what I named it. But it always has that file to reference. So anytime I talk to it, I'm talking to an AI that has our master document for this music project. That is key. It's going to keep everything on track, and you could keep adding to it, add more documents, images, all that stuff. We'll dive into that in a different video. But now I have everything built. Now I could start doing some music. And that is where this chat comes in. And I'm taking all that information I had before and trying to get some lyrics written. And again, I already have Suno prompts. I have the voice prompt. I have everything. So once I get that, then we could come over to AI. We're going to use Suno, and we're going to create our song. Now, the way I do this is I start simple, okay? Trying to get the vibe created, and then it'll spit it out, and you might have to do it a couple times. And then once you get one that you like, which happened to be the first one of all the ones I built, now I'm going to cover this or use as inspiration, because now I have a sound identity for this project, and you can see I'm referencing it in every song I make now. So now we go to advanced. This is where we need to go back to AI. We have our model that's referencing our document. So now we're going to give it the track title, the Suno prompt that it made before, the say reference the voice profile. Make sure you give a complete prompt for Suno for this track. One, title of track. All right. Be very clear on what it needs to do. So you'll get your style and you'll paste it in. It's got to be under 1,000 characters. So make sure it's focused and condensed, no fluff. Then we're going to go back to ChatGPT. We're going to ask it to create vocals for a song, and it's going to put it out in a Suno type way. So it has the brackets, the ad libs, the detail to the voice, and then the actual lyrics. So we're going to copy this if it's good, or you could edit it. But what I do is I copy it, paste it here, and then I open this up, and then I'll just go through it and be like, I would have said this here, so change it to that. Or this doesn't feel right. You could go back to AI and be like, hey, verse 2, whatever. I don't like these lines. What can we do? The point is, you are the creative director. So Use your AI tools and your little agents you're building with those reference documents to help you brainstorm and go back and forth on ideas so you could try a bunch of different things and then figure out what you like, stick with it, finish out your lyrics. So once you have your lyrics, your style done, you're going to go here to more option. You're going to say what you don't want. This helps the model not even think about that stuff and just get focused on your style and not try to get fancy with it by combining country or EDM or rap with this. I'm going to click female because I want it to be a female voice. It's a female voice in our reference track. And then we start to do these sliders. So weirdness, I like to be on the lower side. I want it to be a little more consistent, not, whoa, this sounds crazy. I want it to be enjoyable, listenable, in a safe zone, as you can see here. Anywhere around here, under 50 and above 20 is usually where I land. Style influence, usually I'm higher to 80, 90% because I really want it to think about the style prompt I put in. And the audio influence, I'm pretty high as well, around 70, 80%, even up to 90 sometimes, because I want the voice profile, I want the instruments, I want the sound of the music to be very similar across this whole album. And then we can make a new reference track for the new album, get a new theme, try to keep the same voice because we'll probably use this to build the next theme of the next album. And then we repeat the process and keep creating stories and have music to back up the stories. So all you gotta do is title your song and hit create and it'll spit them out. And how I go from here is I'll just keep regenerating and regenerating. And if I refresh this page, you'll see all the songs I was making. And then the ones I want to use, I'll give a thumbs up. Ones I hate, I give a thumbs down. So it takes it out of this list because I have it hide dislikes. And then I will save it to a playlist. Album 1, Ada Graves, album 1, and boom. Keep going through until I get the whole album done. And then from there is when I create the artwork, create the YouTube channel. And you can see here, I got the YouTube channel, Ada Graves, kind of made an edit to that picture it was generating. I have it create the banners. And AI doesn't really get the YouTube banner well because only like the middle part shows. And if we go back here, it gets cut off a little bit. And I could bring this into Canva and really dial it in later. But it was good enough. I see the name. You could see the theme, the gothic music, haunted stories, timeless tragedies. Some legacies are written in blood. You know, I got the main feel. You got the mansion in the back. You got some details from inside the house. Perfect. After I got that YouTube channel up, want to give a description, kind of give it the storyline, the expectations, and have it feel like this character is speaking to them. Because again, I'm the creative director. This is not me speaking. I'm saying, Ada, this is your project. This is what I want you to say. Go back to AI that has that document, which is basically the rules of AI or the rules of Ada. And it's going to reference all that. And then it's going to spit out a little message from Ada. And that's it. You repeat this process and keep going and going. And again, if you're brand new and you need to come up with an idea, name, and everything, click the link down below. I got the PDF for you. So you have the reference list, basically this video, but in a nice little detailed sheet explaining everything and tools to use. But it also comes with that GPT for ChatGPT that'll help you specifically build a multimedia AI artist music project where you are the creative director, and it'll make sure you hit all the main points so you can get out and go make your project. So this has helped you out. Hit that subscribe button, click that thumbs up. This is the AI Artists Academy. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to build your music project. And even if you don't want to use Suno and you want to make your own music, using this type of stuff to build a theme and multimedia project around your music, it's going to help you stand out. It's going to help you build social content. So it's not just for AI artists. It's for really artists who want to be in creative control of their projects and put out their ideas, their vision in their head out to the masses and start to connect with their fans.